Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bettor Mark. I am Mark, coming to you guys with my college basketball best bets for this Thursday, February 22nd. Okay, huge night, 3-0 across the board. Had a couple leans come home as well, but what we saw within last night's picks, guys, is why it's important to stick with a unit betting system, right? You have cold streaks, everybody does it, but when you're able to compile win after win after win, that's very easy to regain all that territory. I was out with a buddy. It knows me very well. He actually played all of my picks because knows my history, and it's not going to last forever. Okay, we were able actually to parlay and have a nice night there on the card. Enjoyed some nice dinner as well. But that's one where, guys, you can't expect to go 3-0 every time either. So you got to keep it real, keep it 100. But just to recap last night's plays, because I don't want to spend too much time in it because we have a huge college basketball slate today. Also, guys, we have the NBA is back, so make sure you guys all stick around. Watch my video that I'm going to have out for the NBA slate coming back to action. I got a few confident plays in that regard. All right. And, guys, make sure you all are subscribed down below. Okay, that's what you need to do. If you haven't done so, please do so. And also on X, the handle is in the bottom left of your screen because, guys, I'm going to be running a huge giveaway for the month of March. All right, we're getting the channel up and running. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of back stuff going on administratively that you guys, it's taking away from some of the scheduling and time frame that I'm trying to get videos and content out for you guys. So it's been a rough and busy month, okay, but we're moving, all right, and I appreciate you guys all being part of the channel, being part of the team. But like I said, guys, there's going to be a huge March Madness giveaway here on the channel, and we're going to have details to follow. So the best thing you can do is follow me on X as well as on here on YouTube, because when I post that giveaway and things like that with contests, so on and so forth, you're going to want to know right then and there so you don't miss a beat on that front, okay? But enough with that. Let's get into the picks. That's why you guys are all here, and that's why I came to talk to you about my plays for this evening. All right, huge college basketball slate. All right, there's no real marquee games, but to be honest with you, within my betting strategies and my philosophy, that's why I love the sport of college basketball, okay? I love it. Junk it up. Give me the dirtiest, crustiest games on the slate because that's where you can really get in between the numbers, find the edges, okay? You can really find some betting split anomalies that really allow you to have an edge, more so with the NBA. And, guys, college basketball, home and road matters. And also, guys, the one big metric that you can't handicap is heart. All right, I think it's something that they don't share enough within the NBA and allows for the better team to not always win. But within the college basketball ranks, guys, this is just purely emotion, okay, the majority of the time. And also the lack thereof. Now, when you have the lack of emotion, that gives you a huge betting split or betting advantage because you can have an edge going away from the team that doesn't really want to be there, okay? Let's get into it. The first pick that we're going to be taking today, all right, guys, and we're going to have a lot of totals actually on tonight's picks. So that's something where, college basketball, there is some fun in that, all right? I'm a big, full disclosure, I'm an underbetter. You're going to learn pretty early on in your betting, if you try to be a professional gambler, an expert gambler, you got to get rid of that over pill, right? Overs cash. They do. They're more fun. They're sexy. We all love overs, but quit taking that over pill because when you start learning how to bet unders, that's when you're really going to cash some tickets, okay? And that's just simply put. But let's get into the first game. We're going to go out to the Big Ten, right? This is Northwestern taking on the Michigan Wolverines. This is one, guys, where you look at Northwestern, back-to-back trips to March Madness, back-to-back trips to the dance. Michigan is a dumpster fire. They need Jim Harbaugh's help until he gets set up in L.A. That's where we saw Michigan basically come down from 8-18, 7-19 against the spread. That is absolutely an abomination of where that program was at. Obviously, we know what's going on with Juwan Howard and so on and so forth, and their transfer to Kansas, the big man, right? But more so, guys, 18-8 for the Wildcats. Let's take some time to applaud them on their season. And also, I do want to, before we get into tonight's picks, let's recap yesterday's plays real quickly. Richmond -4.5. I think they were able to get home with 8. We took Georgia +1 on the road at Vanderbilt. The wrong team was favored in that game. Vanderbilt is a dumpster fire. I'm not sure why the Bulldogs were getting points in that contest. And then lastly, I didn't even stay up for it. That was the UNLV Air Force rematch, right, when Air Force took UNLV to the woodshed at home. Okay, that's the trouble with betting on UNLV at times because they have to play those home games in Vegas. Playing against a service academy, stuff can get weird. That works in football as well. It's a little underappreciated tip within something that goes on and with the extracurriculars. In my opinion, And that's where you're able to see never really a contest. UNLV winning and covering 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. That number crept up 72-43. So returning the favor, and quite frankly, they absolutely just came home and delivered in that revenge spot. So hopefully you guys were able to watch my video yesterday and get some of that content as well. But back to Michigan, guys. This is going to be a twofold bet. This is a correlating bet where we're going to lean towards Northwestern. I know it's a big number, minus 12.5. But Michigan is a walking, talking dumpster fire. I like the Wildcats. I think that they have possibly can cover that. I know they're a 500 team with covering the spread, and that's kind of what you want. But more so, guys, that is a lean, and it kind of correlates to my official play. That's what we're going to lock into within the Northwestern over 138.5. All right, I see this game getting into the 140s. It's something where Northwestern can really fill it up, but this is something where, like I said, guys, I see Michigan just almost giving up. Okay, so lack of defense. I see Northwestern possibly getting into 80 points. So that's just my numbers. The number's been bet down from 140 to 138. So obviously they're a little bit of a value if you're on that over. So that's going to be my first play. I'm going to go a little contrarian in that regard. We're going to take Northwestern Wildcats 16-9-1 to the over. We're going to take them to come home with that over play. Okay. Next, this is one where we're going to stay with the over. Okay. We're going to get into Cal Poly. Okay. Taking on Cal State Fullerton. All right. Now, this is something where, guys, we look at these numbers, and basically what it comes down to is this is going to be a play on sheer a bad number. Okay. This is just my thoughts. You look at these season splits within the over-under, 12-13, 13-11, basically at home, on the road. Everything's 500. Everything's 500. Okay. But what we're going to do here is we're going to look back at the first matchup. Number was set at 127 on that under. Okay. Now, within that total, the score was 54-51 with this first matchup. Okay. Dating back to, we look at the game that was being played at January 25th, 54-51. And that total was set at 127. Okay. So now we're getting a total right here at 131.5. I know if you look at the last 5 games, guys, these two teams have scored in bunches. Okay, but this is one where I'm going to be taking the under 131.5. Okay, I think there's some value in comparison to the last game, the last performance. So those would be my second play. We're going to take Cal Poly within Cal State Fullerton under 131.5. All right. Next, we're going to go into a game, a team that I've been looking to fade. Okay, this has been a team that I've been fading for quite some time within college basketball. 6-14-4 against the spread, 4-8-2 on the road, 2-5-1 as an underdog. This is one where I look at the numbers, I look at the rematch. We see Kennesaw State. Okay, and Kennesaw State was a team that I loved to play. Okay, and this is another rematch spot as well. Kennesaw State actually won this game in their first matchup by 3. Okay. But right here, guys, I'm taking the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles -3. All right. This is one where it's basically going to be a coin flip, but I like the home team in a revenge spot. Kennesaw State is a team that I've been fading as of recent. So that'll be my third play on tonight's card. Okay. Next, getting into one where you guys are probably not going to know any of these teams unless you bet college basketball. Okay. This is where we look into Queens traveling on the road to play Stetson, right? The Stetson Hatters, where we look at a total again of 158. This is a game where I see both of these teams scoring some points because of the lack thereof defense. Okay, both of these teams are going to be probably getting into the 80s. I really look for this total to get above 160. I think this number is way too low, coming in at 157.5. So I'm going to lock that one in. That was a definite opening spot that I really want to get into the over. I know I told you guys I'm an under better, but when both teams are basically averaging 80-plus points a game, how can I not take an over of 157.5? So that's going to be my analysis with that one, guys. And we look at just bad defense, guys. And when it comes down to for Queens, a couple betting splits that I absolutely like, and I'll bring it up for you guys on your screen. This goes with Queens, okay? And if I had to pick a side on the total, guys, it would be towards the side. When we look at to what Stetson is doing, that would be where I would be leaning. But I try not to get too crafty and correlate too many totals with sides, because if you really nail a total, then you end up losing it and not really cashing any money when basically you have that, the feeling of a win, but you don't cash any tickets because you're on a side as well. So sometimes it correlates, and there's a spot for that, obviously. But within this game, guys, this is what it comes down to. Both teams scoring above 80 points per game. I like this total in 160, probably my best bet of the night. But this is where we see Queens 19-7, 73% to the over, and as well as 11-4, guys, on the road, 73% as well. So let's look to get it done. We like Queens, but we like Queens Stetson over 157.5. Okay, that's my fourth play, and let's get into the last one on the card, guys. This is one where we look at an outstanding team, the Grand Canyon Antelopes, guys. 23-2, looking to punch another ticket into the big dance. But where we see this number is at -5. So this is kind of just a play for me in terms of pedigree. Okay, they're looking to get into the dance. What they're doing is they're playing Tarleton State Texans. Okay, that's a matchup where I'm sure you guys have never heard of Tarleton State. But both of these teams, you do your research, check them out on the last performance logs where you see some of these games. Grand Canyon winning 5 straight, okay, usually having to cover some big numbers, 14 points, 15 points, 20-point spreads, okay. I don't love them as a huge spread. I actually like fading them in those spots, okay. Look at Tarleton State winning 5 of their last 5, low numbers. They are a good dog that they cover basically when spreads 3-7, getting 3-7. They're 4-1 in that spot, covering 80%. And as an underdog or pick, they are 8-4. So the numbers indicate you should be on Tarleton State. But for me, guys, I think I just want to take the better team. All right, I want to take the better team on the road. And when we look at this, guys, even further, I'm going to take the -5 because I think Grand Canyon just gets it done. I think they could possibly win this one by double digits, 8-9 points plus. Look at their last 5. They're winning by margin. I know the teams aren't as good as Tarleton State for that matter. It's something where, 15-7, 14-8 against the spread. Like I said, Tarleton State is a great team against the spread. But that's where we look at this number. I think they can get it done with -5. So that'll wrap out my last 5 plays. Really 4 plays and a lean within it. So actually 5 plus 1 with another lean. So 5 within that lean towards taking Northwestern -12.5. But a lot of totals that I'm on for this evening. Let's try to keep the streak going. I want to know what works best for you guys as well. What do you guys prefer? I'm going to start getting in my coverage and my analysis up with other sports as well. Like I said, there's a lot of moving parts as we get the channel up and running. All thanks to you. Remember, guys, to subscribe down below, though, if you have not done so. It really means a lot to the growth of this channel. Also, smash that like button. That's the best way to get this content fired up on YouTube. People, it just kills the algorithm, and that's what we need here as creators. And I want to bring this content to you guys, so it's really helpful for us on YouTube here if you just absolutely subscribe and smash that like. So that's what I got going on. I wanted to give you guys my plays, picks, and analysis into these 5 contests. And like I said, a lot of moving parts. So stick with me, bear with me for that time being until we get things fully operational, because there's a lot of fun stuff and cool stuff in the works. So I hope you guys are all along for the ride. Good luck tonight. Go cash some tickets, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.